Hi and welcome back to the chicken enclosure. Today we're going to be looking at that question, why has my hen stopped laying? Hi, my name's Fiona. We're asked a lot of questions through our social media channels and through YouTube comments about our chickens and chickens in general. A common question is, why has my hen stopped laying? There are a number of causes which could have meant your hen stopped laying eggs or good quality eggs. And we're going to have a look at some of those reasons today. So let's get started. One of the times where chickens stop laying eggs is when they go into molt. Now, molting is a natural process, and it's when a hen, which is an adult, loses all of its old feathers, which are worn out, and grows brand new feathers to keep them warm and dry in readiness for the winter months. Now, this normally happens as we approach winter, so when the weather turns a little bit colder, they will drop these old feathers and grow new ones. The chickens will go off lay during this time because it takes a lot of energy to grow feathers. It takes a lot of protein too, and normally that protein would be used for egg production, but it needs to be diverted so they can grow new feathers. Molting does look different chicken to chicken, but this is one example. This is Trouble, one of our cream leg bars, and she looks very, very scruffy in the middle of the molt. She's got old feathers, which are the full length feathers you can see, but she's also got large patches of new feathers which are just emerging. She's dropping lots of the older feathers day by day, and she will look much better in a few weeks, but it does look quite dramatic the very first time that you see it. Bald patches are a possibility during the process. Lightning is showing one on her chest. The old feathers have dropped out, but the new feathers haven't yet formed. It's perfectly normal. Stress can stop hens laying. Chickens have evolved as prey animals, so they were the hunted rather than the hunter, so they're in a constant state of alert. And stress can temporarily cause your chickens to stop laying. I've actually known a friend of ours whose chickens go off lay when he does a deep clean on his coops, because they're very sensitive to change, and change causes them to experience stress and puts them temporarily off lay. One thing to check though is, if you do find this happening, is check for the presence of predators. Has a fox been in your area? Look for any signs, and you may need to put a trail cam up just to capture any issues that are happening around your flock, particularly if they're free ranging. The number of daylight hours has a big impact on whether your hen will continue to lay. And this goes back to the evolution of the chicken, because it used to be laying an egg was all about incubating, hatching a chick and raising the next generation. When you've got less than 12 hours of daylight, this signals that you're going into a much cooler part of the year. And as chicks can't regulate their own temperature for the first 8 weeks of their lives, it's actually more dangerous for them to be hatched at this time. So it's normal for most breeds to go off lay. Our Buff Orpingtons, however, do continue to lay during winter, but they're also off lay during the summer for a lot longer than the other breeds, because they're brooding for a lot of that time or raising chicks. Now, there are things you can do to fool a chicken's body into continuing to lay, and we did add some lighting to one of our coops, so let me show you that and you can see whether that works for you. The light is simply a household light bulb wired in and plugged into an outdoor waterproof socket. As you can see, ours is covered in dust and cobwebs. We decided to allow our egg-laying hens the natural break that their bodies are designed for, as it does take a lot of energy to form and lay eggs. Instead, we have mixed our breeds to ensure year-round eggs. In summer, when our Orpingtons are off-lay and brooding, our cream leg bars and Morans lay. In winter, when the cream leg bars and Morans are off-lay for their winter break, our Orpingtons are laying. So by mixing the breeds, we have eggs all year round without any artificial intervention. Hens will stop laying when they start to brood, and there's good reasons for that. A chicken's egg takes 21 days to incubate. If your hen continued to lay eggs and laid an egg on, say, day 15, that chick won't have enough time to develop before the broody hen needs to take all the other chicks which have hatched at day 21 out and start foraging for food. So it's not going to be viable, and there's a risk that it could push a viable egg out of the nest. So that's why broody hens don't continue to lay. I'm stood next to what we call the trailer coop, and it's the favourite coop of our broody hens because it's raised off the ground and it's got a very dark nest box at the back, so they feel very safe to sit on eggs and incubate them. I'd like to show you a little bit of footage so that you know what to look for and you can recognise broody hens. There are 3 ways to recognise a broody hen. The first is by their refusal to exit their chosen spot and by making themselves as flat as possible. Sometimes we describe this as the deflated chicken. It's as if all of the air has been let out of them. The second thing that you might see is where they fluff up all of their feathers and make a noise that we call the eagle chicken. Now this is a warning to leave them alone and let them brood in peace. The third is a level of aggression, and this is demonstrated by Ginger, who wanted me to leave the coop. The age of your hens is a big factor in whether they continue to lay. Now with age, it's not a sudden drop, it is a slow decline. It's different for every breed, but I can tell you about our experience with the breeds that we have. We've got Buff Orpingtons, Copper Black Morans, Cream Leg Bars and Old English Pheasant Fowl. And what we've found with those breeds is that we get 2 years of very high egg production. The third year is a little bit lower, but still good production, and then it's a slow decline. I do have one hen, Gannet, who's now 8 years old, and we don't get any eggs from her at all. I think in year 7 we got 4, maybe 5 eggs for the entire summer season. Producing eggs takes a lot of energy for your chicken. If they're ill, it's likely they're going to need that energy to combat the infection. So the energy used to create the egg will be diverted to fighting that infection. If you suspect illness, look for additional symptoms. Look for mucus from the eyes, the nose, the beak. Look for discharge from the vent. Look for general lethargy. Check how much they're eating and drinking. And if you suspect illness at all, please isolate that chicken immediately, just in case it's contagious. Don't wait to be certain. Isolate it straight away, just to be on the safe side, because by the time you're sure, it could have already spread through your flock. This is Halloumi, who's enjoying some Layer's pellets. Layer's pellets are specifically balanced to give the right level of nutrients to laying hens. And it's possible, if a hen doesn't get the right nutrients, that they'll go off lay completely, or lay thin-shelled eggs, or lay soft eggs. Now Halloumi's clearly tucking in, but I've got to be very careful about the treats that I give each of the chickens. During winter, I do supplement their diet with some sweet corn because I want them to be warmer, and sweet corn does raise their body temperatures, and I do give them excess vegetables from the vegetable garden. So if we've got a cabbage which has been attacked by whitefly, the chickens will get that. I think she's getting impatient because she's eaten all the Layer's pellets in my hand. The other thing to make sure is available to your hens so that they continue to lay is water. Producing eggs takes a lot of water. So that's the advice I would give. I hope that's helped answer your question, why has my hen gone off lay? If you have liked this content, take a moment and give me a thumbs up below. If you're not already a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon, and you'll be notified of any new video as soon as it becomes available. If you've got a follow-up question for me or a new question, leave it in the comment section and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, or even make a video to answer the question. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.